front row seats. I should have told you that the bags in the front actually have the best swag. Right? So that's for sure. No, welcome, and I'm thrilled to be here. It's actually my first time in this meeting. We're trying to close the shades so that no one gets distracted by the view. But our goal today, of course, is to keep your attention on stage with some extraordinary South African startups that have been working as part of this program. So we're going to give a little bit of an introduction about the program, and I want to welcome you. I'm sorry for the just ahead of the curve, I think, but we want to catch up and we want to give you a good opportunity to both see the presentations from the startups and then, of course, have opportunity after the presentation to network and to engage with our two superstars. So, very quickly, just in terms of the housekeeping, there's the restrooms are up the stairs to the back, so just factor in, if you go to the restroom, there's a couple of extra stairs between you and the loop. Otherwise, it's, I don't think we have two fire exits. If you hear anything bad, just take the stairs. So I wanted to, and of course, after the program, there's going to be plenty more food, water, I think water's at the table, or chairs. So you'll have an opportunity to be well nourished after the program. So I want to quickly bring to the stage one of our incredible support partners for this program, who is Koshi Mori, and he's going to give an example, or he's going to give a summary of the program and Deloitte's involvement. So please welcome to the stage, Mura-san.
Thank you, Rick. Hi, everyone. I'm Koshi Mura from the Fitness Award, which is an innovation-focused consulting firm built in Japan. And, okay, so on behalf of JICA, I'm going to briefly explain about what JICA does for the contribution of the satellite ecosystem. Okay, so our blue team consists of two Japanese consulting firms. One is the partners, and second is Japan, as I said. Yep, and what is the Ninja Acceleration Program, which is sponsored by JICA? Okay, so Ninja Acceleration Program was launched in 2020, and Ninja is abbreviation of the Next Innovation in Japan. And JICA has executed the Ninja Acceleration Program in multiple countries like Costa Rica, Kenya, Ethiopia, Uganda, Nigeria, and Zambia. And the activity is not limited in Africa. JICA is conducting the Ninja program in Asian countries as well. Okay, in this program, we conducted like 4 cohorts. And in the last 3 cohorts, we did it in Kenya. And the objective in the last 3 cohorts is growth of the startups, rather than like the contribution of the startup ecosystem. So the growth of startups by providing the business mentoring, also by providing networking with like the global investors, the global mentors, also global cooperation as well. And in the fourth cohort, which is currently called, we are moving to the open innovation program. Why? Okay, so this is kind of an analysis regarding to the element of the startup ecosystem. So we are thinking the startup ecosystem is consisting of maybe 3 things. The one is the human resource, second is the business development, and the last one is the financial access. So for the startup ecosystem to be fully developed, the 3 perspectives also should be developed. And in the last 3 cohorts, we have like provided the multi-dimensional support for the growth of the startups. For instance, we have provided like networking with international investors to increase the financial access of the startups. Also, by providing business mentoring, we contributed like the team building of the startups and the business development as well. And regarding like the business development, this is also consisting of like lots of perspectives. The one is like a huge market size. The second is alliance with cooperation, and at the end of the day, like go global. And in this cohort, we are focusing on more like alliance with corporations. And why we are focusing on the alliance with the corporation? Because it's not limited in just Africa. Any countries, like the engagement from the private sector, the corporation for the startup ecosystem is not that enough. So meaning like a lot of the corporate engagement for the startup ecosystem, like the corporate development and the financing as well. So that's why we are focusing on our innovation program in this cohort. Yep, and the project team consisting of the startup bootcamp, the beta partners, the Thomas in cooperation with JICA, have provided the support for energy action and participating startups to create synergy between them by conducting the POC. Yeah, so I'm very appreciating for the energy action participation in this program. And believing our achievement contribute to the development of the energy action and the participating startups. And at the end of the day, the development of the startup ecosystem as well. So, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time. So we've had the incredible opportunity to run the program for the last 6 months, and we're going to get a little bit more into the background of that, and then that's going to be concluded next week with a trip to Japan. So to talk a little bit more about ADC's role in CXON, I'd like to welcome to the stage Johan Kutzi. Round of applause.
So what a fantastic video. We had previously visited our offices, but this is certainly a lot better point of view. And thank you for all the attention in terms of the snacks and the food and that. Just by a word of introduction, I'm Johan. I'm the VP responsible for ADC's Africa operations. Just on that, in South Africa, we're known as ADC Exxon, because ADC bought the local integrator called Exxon. But in the rest of Africa, we're known as ADC. With me here today is Chris. Chris looks after our digital division, and he's going to say a few words after me. Manesh, who looks after our enterprise technology solutions division, and Koi-san, who is our representative from ADC Japan. Just a few words about ADC. So ADC is an excess of $20 billion organization based in Japan, of course. A lot of ADC's technologies we don't do in Africa because it's not really relevant. But on the African continent, we specialize in alternative energy solutions because energy is not a problem across the continent. We specialize in communication solutions because communication in Africa is still unique, unlike first world countries where connectivity here is still based a lot on wireless technologies, long distances, low population areas where we specialize in. We specialize in technology solutions that Manesh is looking after, which will be solutions in your data center. And finally, we have some retail solutions and identification solutions that we look after as well. So for example, the home affairs identification system still running on ADC. Without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Chris.
It's been an honor that we are here today to join hands with ADC join hands with JICA, the Royce, the Orveda, and the SPC program. The Ninja program has shown us collaborative innovations and embodies the work through uncovering next generation technologies. And here we are able to celebrate these type of startups today. Startups, as of Foxstat and AgriLogic, is next generation. We feel that this technology is at the forefront of innovation, and it fits in well with EC's vision for agri-tech, energy management, as well as digital infrastructure management. So, where Lockstep has proven as next generation technology is within the cutting edge, empowering farmers to innovate and provide decision making for agri-tech and for agribusinesses. The precision agricultural tools can provide optimization, reduce energy, reduce costs as well, and promote the sustainability through farming practices. And we feel within ANC this is the next generation for us as well. And we're looking forward to working with the guys for agriculture. Lockstep, on the other hand, is at the forefront for data analytics. They do a lot of data aggregation through visualization of the data, and we believe that this is also next level and revolutionary for optimization efficiency. So, by offering all of these technologies, we will be able to really get to the next level and market within ANC and within the digital division. So, I would really want to express my gratitude for all the partners where they have delivered. I want to express my gratitude for the partners in their vision and dedication in this program, and can push the boundaries and embrace the innovation in the future and build a brighter future together.
Thank you so much, Chris and Jan. So, I think it's really interesting to take a moment and think about, an amazing company like ABC and say, why do they need to work with a startup? $20 billion, they've got all the money in the world. Why do they need to be working with startups? What do they possibly have to gain from startups, right? And the answer is quite simple. It's that the thing that helps them stay innovation, that keeps that, innovation is a muscle that you have to continue to work, right? It's a mindset that you have to continue to exercise. And once you get to a certain size, the focus of the organization becomes much more about delivering consistent products, right? You've got these amazing solutions that they've already got in their stable. Let's just go out and now we're selling these to governments. These are long sales cycles. We're selling these to multinational corporate, long sales cycles, but also high reliability, right? So you can't afford at that level to be testing and making mistakes. So startups, on the other hand, are in the early stage. They're in the exploration phase, right? They're out changing their products. They can turn around new versions and new features in a matter of days and weeks. And they can also be out testing things and trying things and doing unconventional things that the larger corporates wouldn't have the freedom to embrace. So you've got two very different mindsets, two very different types of DNA. And it's rare for the large corporates to say, hey, we want to actively bring this chaos into the fold, right? So I oftentimes describe it in medical terms as, the body has its natural defenses. You have white blood cells that are running around trying to find things that are foreign and kills them, right? It knocks them out, right? It protects you from getting sick, right? But that's basically what a startup is doing. A startup is in there, and it's a foreign body, and most big corporates they kind of react like that. Like, oh no, we have to kill off this stuff. We have to make sure this doesn't infect the rest of the business, and we don't want too much of this craziness. We have to keep delivering. And so it's very rare to find an organization like AC that's achieved so much success and yet is very completely embracing working with startups. And that's what they've done in this program, is that they've opened themselves up and we selected the startups together. They identified the challenges they were keen to solve. We identified the startups, they selected the startups, and then over the last 3 months, these startups have been going through a pilot and a proof of concept process where they've been able to work hand in hand with the key team at ECX on to say, where does this best fit? Where in either internal to your organization or the customers that you're serving, where is there a good fit for these solutions? And the feedback has been, well, we like what you're doing, but here's some tweaks, here's some pivots, here's some different ways that this can be couched. maybe here's a different type of customer that you haven't thought about before that has a big problem. And so the big benefit for the startup is that now they're getting access to market, but they're also getting critical feedback from a partner that can say, here's why that solution might not work for your customer, or here's how we can add to your solution to address the concerns that that customer might have. So it's been a remarkable process, and we're super excited to be able to share these startups with you. So a little bit about the team. We have the Startup Kit team is larger than this, but this is the key folks that were working on this program. So Henry is our program director, based out of Nigeria. Imabila, who is our entrepreneur in residence, that was working hand in hand with the startups throughout the program. Danielle, who we have in the back, head of operations, and Jocelyn, our head of marketing, who's been ensuring that we have spreading great word about all the great work that's being done. So the Ninja Accelerator program was designed, as was previously introduced, as a later stage program. So typically, the Ninja programs were designed for earlier stage startups, but this was designed specifically so that startups that are in the scale-up phase, so they're now in the go-to-market phase, they've got products that are ready for large-scale customers, can be brought into the marketplace. And the three key pillars in the program aim to promote resolution of regional challenges, as well as a high focus on the economic development in South Africa, and looking at the Japan opportunity. So, as I mentioned before, there's now going to be a Japan roadshow that follows this. Okay? So, the key components of the program, there are the pilot and the proof of concept design workshops. We had mentoring both by internal team members as well as external experts within the industry. There was instructor sessions, the local showcase and networking, including this one. And as I mentioned, the Japanese networking opportunity was the international showcase. And that's the roadshow that they'll be going on. And that will allow them to connect with both investors and potential customers in Japan. And I think that's one of the key elements from the program was that these startups are at a stage now where they're already serving customers across South Africa. They can scale across the continent, but they're also in a position that they could even break out of the continent. And they could really get into top-tier markets like Europe and Japan. So finally, pitch training, and hopefully you're going to see the results of our work with these startups, and that culminated with today and the other day. So the collaboration and the innovation, as I said, it's rare for startups to get a willing partner in a corporation that's prepared to say, here's ways to, because ADC has long-standing relationships with their customers, they can provide inside kind of like feedback back to the startups and the founders, say this is really the key pain point that they're struggling with, and that kind of feedback enabled them to tweak their products and to tweak their presentation and their value proposition. So most important in all of this was that none of this would have happened at all without JICA, right? And the program itself is the result of incredible contribution from and a vision from the JICA organization. So I'd like to give them an opportunity to say a quick introduction. So if I can invite you to the stage, JICA. Again, I just want to reiterate, so what they were able to do is provide the funding for this entire program and enable NEC. They brought NEC to the table. So they initially connected with the Japanese corporates, scouted Japanese corporates, and it brought us to the table to operate the program. So we're very, very thankful. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Shunsuke Yamashita from JICA South Africa office. And sorry for some confusion. Yes, we JICA came here and we our chief representative and national staff, Mr. Muko. And first of all, so I will say something from the JICA South Africa office. Thank you very much for this opportunity to tell a few words on behalf of JICA. All of us in this room understand and appreciate the value of startup, especially in our current situation, where unemployment is unacceptably high while increasing poverty. Even the educated and qualified and struggling to find jobs. I believe that South Africa has enough talented individuals who can stand up against the barriers affecting their livelihood. Initiatives such as this one can go a long way in promoting self-reliance for the next generation. In January 2020, 5 years ago, JICA launched Project the Next Innovation with JICA, Japan, to support entrepreneurs and startups. And this program has been working to strengthen the startup ecosystem in numerous African countries. We, JICA, would like to thank any citizen for applying to this program in response to our public call for application through our partner networks. Thank you very much. Also to all the startup heads selected, thank you for your hard work over the past 4 months. I believe that it was challenging for both NEC, Exxon, and the startups to conduct the POC leading up to today's demo day. Thank you very much for your hard work. I look forward to the presentation of the result of the POC after this. And we would like to express our sincere gratitude to SEDFA for attending today. JICA is currently preparing to launch a new project from startup with ESPD. Through this project, we hope to contribute to the creation of a position paper for startup in South Africa. To all the startups, please make full use of today's opportunity to convince investors and venture capitalists of the value of your service. I have heard that there are already some meetings scheduled with several investors, companies, and ecosystem hubs for the training in Japan starting next week. We hope you will take advantage of the opportunities in Japan to connect the business opportunity to further develop your business. Finally, we'd like to express our gratitude once again to everyone who contributed to the success of this program. Thank you very much.
Yeah, amazing. And thank you to JICA as well, without whom none of this would be possible. So, enough of us speaking. The real stars of the show are startups. And I want to invite first to the stage is AgriLogic. We did this alphabetically, but you'll have to, we're not throwing you under the bus, but please big round of applause for Joel and AgriLogic.
Thank you. So to get starting from here. My name is Joel. I'm the founder and chief growth officer of AgriLogic, and thank you all for being here today. So recently the World Economic Forum did a study that said by 2035 the events or environment conditions such as extreme weather, biodiversity loss, and resource shortage will pose catastrophic risks to humankind. And this is really unless we can change, unless we can start listening to our planet, starting with the way we farm, starting to listen really carefully. The world has been seeing immense pressure on agricultural efficiency. Global food production needs to increase by 60% by 2050, and arable land has decreased by 50% since 1960. So there's a supply and demand issue that's coming forward. On top of this, the World Bank recently did a study that said less than 2% of African farmers have access to information about modern farming technology.
the way we farm, how they can improve themselves. One of the ways to do this is to introduce precision agriculture, but everything on the market currently is complex, inaccessible, and has immense complexity to operations that don't understand. This is where agriculture comes. Our sustainable, data-driven, smart farming solutions can increase crop yields and quality while saving energy, water, and costs through the utilization of protected cultivation and greenhouse control systems. Our software ecosystem comprises of climate control, irrigation, and fertigation, which simplifies the process and does the hard work in the background. This, coupled with real-time operational analytics and optimization, provides real-time actionable insights for farmers, helping them improve things as they move forward in their farming day-to-day from one central approach. This is all based on proprietary hardware that we built in-house, each with their own little business case, improving capex and OpEx expenditure for farmers as they build these particular cultivation systems. But ultimately, we try and employ elements of precision farming, bringing 80% of the gains and 20% of the costs, really help the farmers move along. We've seen success in this, putting down a footprint in a variety of crops such as tomatoes, blueberries, strawberries, cucumbers, medical cannabis, and most recently the escargot farm in Namibia, quite an interesting one. And you can see our country footprint expands fairly well across sub-Saharan Africa, and we're busy expanding the UK and New Zealand. We're starting to get them on across the globe. One of our recent installations was able to reduce energy by up to 85% for a farmer, increasing their yield by 45%, and resulting in an 8-month payback period for them on a 30 million rand investment. We see a large opportunity around the globe with a $22 billion projected market size for precision agriculture, where we believe we can obtain at least $1 billion of that for ourselves. BCG is done a nice study for us, sponsored by our CEO, and it just shows the exports and value within Africa and the opportunities for us to tap. We launched in January 2021 with our first trial at a farm, and since then we've experienced large growth, with 3 times growth in 2023, and we're now ready to take our hardware for compliance testing as we expand and commercialize with partners like these. But our real dream is to build an informative partner in the pocket, something that can predict the weather, tell you what's going to happen tomorrow, let you know what's happening with your infrastructure, give you predictive analytics on it, optimize your costs, but the instant partner that can work with you on the farm, making another teammate to help you on your day-to-day. Some of the impact that we see is, of course, environmental impact, reducing those resource shortages. Job creation is a big part of what we do. We save 400 people's jobs in the Northwest, where we prevent frost damage through our sensing systems, as well as there's a large contribution to food security. Just some of our team, there's myself, my partner Tony, and our operations lead Scott. We've got some site technicians, equipment, and power. Then just a little bit about the program and engagement over the last 4 months. We went through a phased approach with the PC, doing different aspects of understanding different opportunities, and really on a real just deep down discovery of what we offered, what they offered, and how we synergize between it. After that, we looked at doing some trials, and we really showed impact on how we engage things for their customers and our customers. And found a couple of challenges for our timeline that we did that. So we re-looked at things and we re-looked at the approach, and we found it was really synergistic, efficient in their crop scope offering, where our products could market alongside it to meet different markets right next to it. And with that, we created materials on board with them, and we're now in that process of expanding that material out to the markets and looking to see how we can work with the customers. And I think, yeah, overall, that material offering complements, cross openness, and what benefits they can perform. And that's it.
Amazing job, Joel. I think we won. So that was amazing, and I think we'll have a chance for kind of Q&A after the fact. But, you know, one of the most memorable moments I had going through the process with them was they were describing, again, as in what we do. I'm not a farmer, I'm not an agriculturalist, I'm not a technician, I don't specialize in any of the things that these founders do. So, you know, what I'm always trying to do is say, give me just a simple example of how your product makes life better for these farmers. And he was describing that in many of these grow tubes that they will have sprayers. And the sprayers produce moisture, of course. And moisture, you know, creates this, you know, obviously it's feeding the plants, but it also apparently creates an environment in which bugs and bad things happen to the plants, right? And so they created these sprayers that allow them to be very microscopic, where it doesn't really feel wet. So there's the plants are actually getting the moisture they need, but there's significantly reduced any sort of mold or disease or problems in the grow tubes. And at the same time, it required less electricity, it requires less fertilizers, or less, you know, kind of chemicals in order to combat the things. And so it has this huge knock-on effect. You know, but that just seems so simple. You know, like, yes, in retrospect, when you see it, of course it makes sense. But it takes, you know, an entrepreneur to understand the full life cycle and to create that. So kudos to you guys, and I mean, I'm sure that's probably like the simplest thing. You really have to dumb it down for me. But that's like the simplest example of how the solutions that they have can have a massive financial impact for large scale as well as small scale farmers. So our next founder is Sanjay with Lockstat, and I would also try to give you my latest example of what they're doing, but this one is truly out there. So Sanjay, please come up and share with us about Lockstat.
My name is Sanjay. I'm one of the founders of Lockstat, been in technology for 20 years, and 2018 decided that just everyday technology got a bit boring and decided to go into the world of startup. So this is a bit of a history of us. As I said, we were fortunate enough to build a relatively successful technology company, and were able to bootstrap ourselves to a point where we thought we would be ready for institutional investment, and obviously we're now working towards our Series A investment about 2027. So what is graph technology? It's not a chart like an Excel chart. It's a bit of a misnomer. Really what it is that 60 years ago SQL database technology was developed, and 99% of the world built all their technology on SQL. SQL was never built for AI, really for high volumes of data, big data, real-time data. And so about 15 years ago became the evolution of graph database technology, and I'm pretty sure most of you use it today without realizing it. So Facebook is built on massive graph database technology, so is Amazon, Uber, your recommendations on Netflix is all driven by graph database technology. The problem with it is that it is so complex to build that only big companies like Facebook have been able to acquire the skills and the budgets to build it in-house. And where Lockstat provides a solution is that we are only one of 2 companies in the world that provide a third-party solution to enable graph technology, and the only company in the world that allows you to choose the graph database technology you would like to use. And you'll see who the other company is later. So yeah, this is just some of the figures within companies we work with. Self-explanatory. We augment human intelligence, provide great improved predictability, and one of our customers last year we made a 27x return on their investment in our software. We talk about distribution in our business, so graph database technology. We are not a graph database suppliers. So companies like Neo4j, TigerGraph, Altipa, and MemGraph, we are OEM component to all of them. You would use one of these companies for your graph database technology, and this would obviously be the, you can see they both unicorns. Obviously, I'm sure you know in software that distribution is critical if you want to grow a global business. So we have in the last 6 months with the 4 biggest graph companies in the world, and which is now giving us global distribution. And yeah, so we get to who are our competitors. We only have one competitor on the planet in terms of a like-for-like technology, and that's a little American company called Palantir. I think their market cap this morning was $155 billion. Last week it was actually $186 billion, so they lost a bit of money. But in terms of the technology, as you can see, Lockstep provides you the same solution. The difference is Palantir, they built their own proprietary graph database, and they have very expensive consultants that you have to use with them. So for example, our product starts at $120,000 a year, and Palantir is over $1 million a year. Most of their clients are massive multinationals, and 54% of their revenue is to the US government. And so the founder of the company, Peter Thiel, he paid Donald Trump $130 million for his election campaign, so you can understand how important US defense is to Palantir. Where we see our goal is that we want to provide the same service that Palantir does to America, to the rest of the world, particularly in Africa and developing nations, at a far more affordable price, but achieving the same outcomes. And we are vertical agnostic, security, defense, financial services, IoT, and we're in about 8 different verticals at the moment, supply chain logistics. We're currently raising our Series A round, which is $15 million, and we hope to close that in Q3, Q4 2027. The opportunity with JICA and NEC was obviously to find a possible concept of a potential POC, and where we did find this between my business partner Rainer and Chris, is that we saw an opportunity where Thingsboard is quite widely used across the NEC company, and we thought, well, you know, for those that don't know about Thingsboard, it basically gives you IoT type device management, data collection, and real-time visualizations. But where Lockstep can augment this and bring in the artificial intelligence, the real-time learning, the machine learning, we've got very complex rule engines, we can work with lots of data, and we see a very good fit. Both of them use Cassandra databases, which are just big data databases. We see a real opportunity to work with NEC and to be able to provide this augmented human intelligence to systems such as Thingsboard. It's not limited to Thingsboard, but this is where we did our POC. We could work with many other platforms within the NEC environment. The project that we are doing is with the mobile towers, and mobile towers has many IoT devices on it, passive infrastructure, which is your diesel and what's happening at the actual tower. But there's a far more exciting part, which is in the active infrastructure, which is the information going between the towers, so you can measure actual usage of the towers. And where we are very strong in our business is because of this, driven by data, is we've got very accurate predictive failures. So you can save a lot of money for your clients in terms of predictive maintenance. This is just our platform, and On the orange side, you'll see that IoT analytics is one of the solutions, but we have many solutions, and we think that as we grow our relationship with NEC, we will be able to offer far more solutions across our platform. So Oxford, I think I've talked a bit about this, is that these are the improvements and where we feel that we will augment and improve the outcomes that are currently available through things called. That's our dashboard on the left, and we obviously provide visualizations as well as real-time alerts and predictive maintenance. And that's Oxford in a nutshell.
Thanks, Sanjay. Interestingly, for those that probably, most of you probably know, Peter Deal did spend a bit of his childhood in South Africa, so we seem to be punching way above our weight in terms of throughout technology space. But I think the thing that I would, the layman's version of the story that I remember was trying to explain to me, what are the value that they did, and it was looking at a problem that unfortunately is too prevalent in South Africa and across Africa, but the kind of damage or theft of some of these towers. And they were able to really run this analysis and say, okay, well, we can predict the likelihood of one tower being vandalized versus another tower being vandalized on this massive array of considerations, right? Which included things like, what was the proximity to certain housing settlements, like the income of the people living around it, or what's the proximity to like a metal reclamation or metal a scrapyard, right? And things like that. Traffic patterns, time of day, all of these things, weather patterns, and just this incredible array of factors that dial in and dial down, dial up or dial down the risk factor for a particular tower. And so, it's economically difficult to justify putting up, sufficient defenses around all of your towers. And they're saying, well, you don't have to do that. You can make kind of stage appropriate, risk appropriate investments into each of these sites. So it's an unbelievable capability, and I think where we're going or where they're going with this is going to be exciting to watch. So we're super excited to see what's next for Lockstep. So those are the two startups that were participating. There was a third startup called Rafta. Unfortunately, there was some personal issues that arose, so he wasn't able to be here today to present, but we will hope to be able to share with you the results of that project as well. So this program was not done alone. We also had a tremendous group of mentors and instructors that were working very closely with these founders throughout the program in different capacities. So just want to give a shout out to the incredible team, the extended team that put in so much time and effort. And now we have exciting announcements that the startups are going to be signing letters of intent with NEC. So one of the big goals was to say this program is not just academic in nature. It's not just fun. It's actually to see to hopefully get to a stage where there's a commercial opportunity that's going to extend beyond this. And we're super excited today to announce that both of the startups reached that level with NEC. So they have 100% success rate. So we're now going to have a kind of a ceremonial signing of the letters of intent. So first, Joel, you can come on up, and we will bring the letters, and with NEC as well. Pictures, but yes, the last page is the signature, so a quick sign. We would like to do the honors. congratulations to Joel and Daisy. Put us on a new footing, because we have one more exciting one for you. And we can get Sanjay to come for everybody, for WhatsApp. So congratulations to and actually I should have perhaps just encouraged you to stay on the stage, because we'd actually like to now do the family photo, the group photo. So actually, if I could invite the founders back up, so Joel and Sanjay can come back up. I'd like to come with as well as part of the Agri-Launch team. The NEC team, I invite all of you. First time, double feathered partners, we'll bring up, and as well as JICA, if we could invite you to the stage as well. And from Albert. Give a big round of applause to the entire program. Fantastic. Okay, well, while you're all on stage, just a final thank you, and especially to JICA for kicking off the entire program together, NEC for the incredible partners, Raising Startups, Double Feathers partners, and now I'd like to invite you to enjoy some of the refreshments. And we'll see you all in Japan. And he's also for the two founders, and you'll find them, and investors or partners or anybody that's interested in hearing more about what they're up to and what they're looking to do next. Please talk to Joel and Sanjay, and make the best of it.